సో ఏదైనా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంటే చెప్పండి. So electronic polarization sets in over a short period of time of the order of 10 to the power of minus 14 to 10 to the power of minus 15 seconds. It is independent of temperature. So the electronic polarization PE is given by P is equal to N alpha E capital E from equation 4. So ఇదంతా నిన్న చెప్పిందేనమ్మా. Okay, alpha mu is directly proportional to E, that is dipole moment. So mu is equal to alpha E, where alpha E is called the proportionality, electronic polarizability or proportionality constant. So P is equal to N, but P is equal to N into mu. So therefore P is equal to N alpha E E. Okay. So the contribution of PE to the dielectric constant epsilon R is as follows. So epsilon from equation 22. This one. Epsilon R is equal to xi plus 1. So from equation 22. So epsilon R is equal to 1 plus xi. So epsilon R is equal to 1 plus xi is equal to P by epsilon naught E. So see this one, P is directly proportional to E. So P is equal to epsilon naught xi E. So xi is equal to P by epsilon naught. So that value xi value is substituted here. P by epsilon naught E. Hence epsilon R is equal to 1 plus P. The value of P is N alpha E. So N alpha E. So this one, P is equal to N alpha E. So then 1 plus N alpha E by epsilon naught. So E cancel అయిపోతే epsilon R is equal to 1 plus N alpha E by epsilon naught. So the above expression gives the contribution to the dielectric constant from the electronic polarization alone and thus gives the dielectric constant of non-polar inert gaseous dielectric. For a monoatomic gas, it is found that the electronic polarization is given by, so for monoatomic gas, the electronic polarization is given by alpha E is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. This is for a monoatomic gas. So calculation of electronic polarizability. Now consider that an atom of a dielectric material is placed in a DC electric field E. Since the nucleus and the electron cloud of that atom have opposite charges, they are acted on by the opposite electric forces in the presence of the electric field. The nucleus will move towards the field direction and the electron cloud will move in the opposite direction of the field. So already nina cheppindena idanta. When the nucleus and the electron cloud are shifted from their equilibrium positions, an attractive Coulomb force is created and will tend to maintain the original equilibrium positions. So whenever the nucleus and the electron cloud are moves in opposite direction, then an attractive force, Coulombian, that is called Coulombian force, is created, and it will tend to maintain the original equilibrium positions of both, that is electron cloud and the nucleus. But the Lorentz force will tend to separate the nucleus. But the Lorentz force will tend to separate the nucleus and the electron cloud of that atom from their equilibrium positions. So whenever the electron cloud and the nucleus are get to separate it with each other, then there is two kinds of forces acts upon the atom. So one is Coulombian force and another one is Lorentz force. And this Coulombian force tend to maintain the original equilibrium position. Okay, so and the Lorentz force will tend to separate the nucleus and the electron cloud of that atom from their equilibrium position. Finally, a new equilibrium will be reached when these two forces are equal and opposite. Okay, so here, due to the application of the electric field on that particular dielectric material, then what happens? Due to the application of electric field, those two kinds of forces acts upon the atom. So then, these two forces acts in opposite directions. One is Coulombian force, another one is Lorentz force. So then, these two will reach a new equilibrium position when these two forces are equal and opposite. As in figure 6a, when there is no external field, the centers of the electron cloud and the nucleus of the atom are one and the same. So see this one and the same. When the field is switched on, the electron cloud center gets displacement x with respect to the center of the nucleus. We can assume that the negative charge in the electron cloud is uniformly distributed over a sphere of radius r, and the spherical shape of the electron cloud is not altered on the application of the electric field. Let's see this. See the figure. So this one. So here, when there is no force, when there is no external field acts upon the atom, then both positive and negative charges are coincide with each other. So when the application of electric field here, the electron cloud gets displaced through a distance x. So here, so this one, see this. So here, the positive and negative charges both are gets displaced, and the nucleus gets displaced through a distance x and gets a new equilibrium position on the application of the external field. So here, let us assume that here the negative charge is uniformly distributed over the sphere of radius r. Okay, over the sphere of radius r. And the spherical shape of the electron cloud is not altered on the application of the electric field. That means spherical shape of the electron cloud does not change by the application of the electric field. Then the charge density of the charged sphere is Ze by 4/3 pi r cube. Okay, that is Q by 4/3 pi r cube. Here Q is nothing but, charge is nothing but Ze. Where Ze is the total charge inside the sphere of radius r. Okay, where Z is the total negative charge inside the sphere of radius r, and Z is the atomic number of the atom. So in our problem, the sphere of radius x is also situated in the same sphere of radius r. Okay, another sphere is there inside the dotted lines to say. So due to the application of the external field here, the nucleus gets displaced through a distance x and new equilibrium position is reached, this one. Okay, so then it can be written by the equation. So in our problem, the sphere of radius x is also situated in the same sphere of radius r. Okay, so total negative charge in the sphere of radius x is, so minus ZE into 4/3 pi x cube by 4/3 pi r cube. Okay, so then the negative charge inside the sphere of radius x, this one. Okay, minus ZE into 4/3 pi x cube by 4/3 pi r cube. So that is equal to, so ఇక్కడ 4/3 cancel అయిపోతే pi, then minus ZE into x cube by r cube. So according to Gauss theorem, the Coulomb attractive force, on the displaced nucleus is due to the negative charge present in the sphere of radius x. So the Coulomb force between the nucleus with the positive charge ZE and the electron cloud, which is displaced to a distance x from the center of the nucleus, is given by, so that can be written as, actually here Fc is equal to Coulombian attractive force, Fc is equal to, actually దీన్ని డైరెక్ట్ గా రాసేసారు ఈక్వేషన్. This can be written as Coulombian force can be written as q naught by 4 pi epsilon naught x square. That is the Coulombian force. So q minus ZE, so it's q naught, so it already ఉంది, minus ZE x cube by r cube, this one, x cube by r cube into ZE, so q naught, so this one, our Coulombian force q1 q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught x square. That is the equation. So equation lo substitute cheste this one q1, so this is q2, so then one minus ZE x cube by r cube into ZE by 4 pi epsilon naught x square. So distance is x, so then 4 pi epsilon naught x square. So that is equal to minus, so చూడండి z square e square. Okay, ఇక్కడ x square ఉంది, ఇక్కడ x cube ఉంది, cancel అయిపోతే then x. So finally minus z square e square x by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. So ఇక్కడ r ఉంది కదా, so denominator కి తీసుకొచ్చేస్తే 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. Okay, this is the Coulombian force. Then the electric force acting on the nucleus due to the total applied electric field is given by this one, ZE into E. Okay, the electric force can be written as F is equal to Q into E. That is Q ante enta charge ikkada ZE, so ZE into E. So the electric force acting on the nucleus due to the applied field is given by ZE into E. Okay, so this is called Lorentz force. Okay, due to the application of the electric field, a force acting upon the charge, so that force is called Lorentz force. That force can be written as FL, or Lorentz force antam kabatti FL is equal to this one, ZE into E. And enti force FL is equal to Q into E. That is the equation. So ikkada Q ante enti charge, that is ZE into E. So under the equilibrium conditions, the Coulomb attractive force and the electric force on the nucleus are equal and opposite. So under equilibrium condition, the Coulomb attractive force and the electric force on the nucleus are equal and opposite. So when these two forces, that is one is Coulombian force, another one is Lorentz force, both are equal and opposite, then a new equilibrium condition will be reached. So that is Fc is equal to Fl. So then Fl means ZE into E. This is the Lorentz force, that is equating both the equations. Then you will get ZE into E is equal to this Z square E square x by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. Okay. Therefore, E is equal to here, RE is equal to ZEX. So simplifying this equation, then ZE cancel అయిపోతే Z square E square కదా ఇక్కడ, so ZE, so cancel అయిపోతే ZE into X, ZEX by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. So this is the required equation under equilibrium condition. You will get that equation. That is E is equal to ZEX by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. So due to the shifting of the electron cloud, the amount of induced dipole moment is given by. So what happens here? Due to the shifting of the electron cloud, here when due to the application of the electric field here, the electron cloud gets shifted. So the dipole moment, a dipole. So due to the shifting of the electron cloud and the nucleus, a dipole is arised in between the electron cloud and the nucleus. So dipole moment acts in between the two charges, that is electron cloud and the nucleus. So that the dipole moment is given by mu is equal to ZE into X. Dipole moment equation enti mu is equal to dipole moment, product of the either of the charge into distance. So either of the charge here is ZE, so X is X here, distance, so mu is equal to ZEX. So but from definition, mu is equal to alpha E. Mu is equal to alpha E. So from equation 5 and 6, substituting this, then alpha E is equal to, equating these two, alpha E is equal to, mu value is alpha E. So substituting in equation 5, then alpha E is equal to ZEX. Therefore, E is equal to ZEX by alpha E. So simplifying the above equation, then E is equal to ZEX by alpha E. So from equations 4 and 7, this is equation 7, and already manaki E ki ikkada value vachindi, that is ZEX by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. Then equating these two from equations 4 and 7, we get ZEX by alpha E is equal to ZEX by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. Okay, so ZEX cancel అయిపోతే, therefore alpha E is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. And the units are farad meter square. So therefore the electronic polarizability alpha E is proportional to the volume of the atom, and for normal temperatures it is independent of temperature. So see this one, alpha E is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. So the 4 pi epsilon naught RQ means this electronic polarizability is only depends on the volume of the atom, and it is independent of temperature. Okay, it is independent of temperature. This is about electronic polarizability. So electronic polarizability, and this is calculation of electronic polarizability. Just ఏం లేదు, ఇక్కడ two forces act చేస్తాయి. So equating those two forces under equilibrium condition, then you will get one condition. Again, for electronic, due to the shifting of electron cloud, dipole moment acts upon the two charges. Then equation for, then deriving the equation for dipole moment, then you will get a new equation, and equating both those two, then you will get the final equation, that is alpha is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught r. That is about electronic polarizability. Now coming to ionic polarization. Ionic polarization. So second type of polarization is ionic polarization. The ionic polarization is due to the displacement of cations and anions in opposite directions under the action of an applied field, and okay, so ionic polarization, the ionic polarization is due to the displacement of cations and anions when an electric field is applied to a dielectric material. Under the action of applied field, and it occurs in ionic solids like NaCl, CSCl. Thus a dipole moment is induced in a pair of displaced cations and anions. The dipole moment induced is directly proportional to the applied field. Thus mu I is directly proportional to E. Okay, so the ionic polarization is due to the displacement of cations and anions in opposite directions under the action of applied field. Okay, when an external field is applied, then both the cations and the anions get separated to a fixed distance. Okay, so by the application of the electric field. So then the dipole moment in ionic polarization is directly proportional to the applied field, that is mu I is directly proportional to E. So therefore mu I is equal to alpha I E. So ionic polarization kabatti ikkada I tho represent chestamu, and therefore mu I is equal to alpha I, where alpha I is called the ionic polarizability. Okay, here alpha I is called the ionic polarizability. Ionic polarization is not influenced by temperature. So this polarization is also temperature independent. So it is not influenced by temperature. It takes about 10 to the power of minus 11 to 10 to the power of minus 14 seconds to build up in dielectric materials. For most materials, alpha I is less than alpha E. For most of the dielectric materials, alpha I is less than alpha E. Typically, alpha I is equal to 1 by 10 into alpha E. Suppose an electric field is applied in the negative Suppose an electric field is applied in the negative x direction as shown in the figure 7. So this is figure 7. An electric field is applied in the negative x direction. Then the positive ions move to the left and the negative ions move to the right. So see this one. So Na plus, this is positive ions moves in left direction, so this one Na plus, and the negative ions move to the right, this one, to a distance r naught. Okay, suppose an electric field is applied in the negative x direction. Negative x direction means in this direction. This x direction, this is the negative x direction. Then the positive ions moves to left, and the negative ions moves to right. We assume that there are no cation and we assume that there are one cation and one anion in the unit cell of the ionic crystal. Due to the ionic displacement, the resultant dipole moment per unit cell is mu is equal to E into x1 plus x2. Okay, here we assume that there is one cation and one anion in the unit cell of the ionic crystal. So NaCl. Due to the ionic displacement, the resultant dipole moment per unit cell is actually mu is equal to x1 plus x2. So here this Na moves towards a direction towards the left by a distance x1, and Cl moves towards right to a distance x2. So the resultant distance is x1 plus x2. The ionic polarization due to the application of the electric field is x1 plus x2. So that can be written as, therefore the dipole moment can be written as mu is equal to E into x1 plus x2, where E is the charge of the ion. Okay, where E is the charge of the ions, and x1 is equal to shift of the positive ion, and x2 is equal to shift of the negative ion, this one, with respect to their equilibrium positions. So equilibrium position, before the application of the electric field, both Na plus Cl are coincide with each other. So when there is an application of the electric field, then both moves towards a distance x1 and x2 from the equilibrium positions. So the resultant dipole moment. So the resultant dipole moment is mu is equal to E into x1 plus x2, where E is the charge of the ions. So due to the application of the static electric field, the force produced may be taken as F Newton, and the restoring force on the positive ion be beta 1 x1, and the restoring force on the negative ion be beta 2 x2. Actually beta 1 beta 2 or k1 k2 తో కూడా రిప్రజెంట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో therefore due to the application of the static, కొన్ని బుక్స్ లో అయితే k1 k2 తో రిప్రజెంట్ చేసి ఉంటుంది. So no problem. Due to the application of the static electric field, the force produced may be taken as F. The restoring force acting on the positive ion is beta 1 x1, and the restoring force acting on the negative ion is beta 2 x2. Here beta 1 is equal to m omega naught square, and beta 2 is equal to capital M omega naught square, are the restoring force constants which depend upon the mass of ion and angular frequency. So here capital M and small m represents the masses of ions, and omega is the angular frequency of the molecule. Okay, in which ions are present. Therefore under equilibrium F is equal to, under equilibrium condition, the two forces acts upon the two ions is equal. So F is equal to beta 1 x1 is equal to beta 2 x2 under equilibrium condition. Okay, when an electric field is applied, so ఈ తర్వాత చెప్పండి ఇది చూడండి. సో f is equal to beta 1 x1 is equal to beta 2 x2. Therefore x1 is equal to f by beta 1. That is equal to f is here, f is equal to E into E. That is charge into electric field. So force E into E by beta 1 is equal to m omega square. Beta 1 ente ikkada m omega square. Here where f is equal to E into E, m is the mass of the positive ion and beta 1 is equal to m omega naught square. Omega being the angular frequency of the molecule. Here omega being the angular frequency of the molecule. Similarly, for the negative ion, x2 is equal to beta x2 is equal to or f is equal to beta 2 x2. Therefore x2 is equal to f by beta 2. F is equal to E into E by m omega naught square, where m is the mass of the negative ion, small m is the mass of the positive ion and capital M is the mass of the negative ion. Okay, then x1 plus x2. So x1 plus x2 is equal to, so the resultant dipole moment, that is mu is equal to x1 plus x2. So therefore x1 plus x2 is equal to, so this one E by m omega square plus E by m omega naught square, this one. Then E by both equations, so E by omega naught square common these there, then 1 by m plus 1 by small m, and mu is equal to dipole moment, ionic dipole moment is mu is equal to E into x1 plus x2. So therefore E, already E is there, so then E square E by omega naught square 1 by m plus 1 by small m. Okay, and we know that mu is equal to alpha IE. Okay, dipole moment is inversely proportional to the electric field strength. Initial ga rasam kada, that is mu is equal to alpha IE. Hence alpha I is equal to mu by E. Alpha I is equal to mu by E. Therefore substitute cheste manaki mu value idi. So that is equal to E square E by omega naught square 1 by m plus 1 by m by E. So E cancel అయిపోతే మనకి resultant final equation is E square by omega naught square into 1 by m plus 1 by small m. This is the final equation. Okay. Thus the ionic polarizability alpha I is inversely proportional to the square of the natural frequency of the ionic molecule and to its reduced mass, where the reduced mass is mathematically equal to 1 by m plus 1 by m, this one, inverse. So this is the final equation for ionic polarizability. So therefore the ionic polarizability is inversely proportional to the square of the natural frequency. So this one, natural frequency of the ionic molecule and it molecule to its reduced mass, where the reduced mass is mathematically this one, 1 by m plus 1 by m inverse, or 1 by m plus 1 by m. So this is about ionic polarizability. So simply this is the required equation when the two charges are get separated. When the two ions are get separated, then a dipole moment is arised. The dipole moment is mu I is equal to alpha I E. So under equilibrium condition, mu I is equal to E x1 plus x2, E into x1 plus x2, where E is the charge of the ion. x1 and x2 are the distances between the two ions from their equilibrium positions. So now get the conditions for x1 and x2. So the two under equilibrium condition, both the forces are equal. That is, F is equal to beta 1 x1 is equal to beta 2 x2. Then now getting the equations and substituting the required equations, that is beta 1 is equal to m omega square, omega naught square, and beta 2 is equal to capital M omega naught square, where m and m are the masses and omega naught square are the angular frequency. Then substituting and deriving both the equations, then you will get the final equation, this one, alpha is equal to e square omega naught square into 1 by m plus 1 by m. So this is about ionic polarizability. Okay. Next one is orientational polarization. Orientation polarization. Orientation polarization arises in polar dielectrics. Next, internal field in a dielectric. So explain the electronic polarization of a material and reduce an expression for the electronic polarizability of an atom. So ఇప్పుడు చెప్పుకున్న ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ పోలరైజేషన్ క్వశ్చన్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, సో ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను కదా మీకు, మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మెటీరియల్స్ చదువుతారు కానీ అది ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది, అలానే ఇది వదిలేయలేం కదా, సో ఇది కూడా చెప్పాలి. సో వినండి, కేర్ఫుల్ గా క్లాస్ వినండి. రైట్, సో నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో ఓరియంటేషన్ పోలరైజేషన్ గురించి చెప్తాను. ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేసిన టైం అయిపోయింది కదా. ఓకే, so 54 members present at class. Right. Okay, next class లో ఓరియంటేషన్ పోలరైజేషన్ గురించి చెప్తాను. సో రన్ చేస్తున్నాను క్లాస్. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.